Madan Fadnavis now with us. Madan, what do you make of the reports which are suggesting that government may redraw the fiscal consolidation roadmap in FY21, need more fiscal space in FY21 for an infra push?
Because we have seen that there are very few signs of showing that private sector investment is picking up. And presently, it's only the government of India which seems to be the main driver of investment, especially in the infrastructure sector. So therefore, I think there would be need for the government to be a bit more flexible when it comes to the fiscal deficit in the next year and allocate certain resources for infrastructure. Currently, if we're looking at the total capex of the central government, it's in the region of around 3.3 lakh crores. So maybe if I have to push it up to 4.3 or 4.5 lakh crores, there would need to be some additional spending on the government, which could lead to a higher fiscal deficit, which is what is being spoken of right now.
So, Madan, just want to understand if you're looking at or you're talking about redrawing the fiscal roadmap, what are the things you would be watching out for as somebody who's tracking the macro situation very, very closely?
See, what we'll be looking at is how many years is the government going to take before it goes to the 3% mark. Now, deviations are anyway permitted in case there are exceptional conditions. Now, I think there has to be the acceptance of the fact that economic growth has slowed down. Both consumption and investment, especially on the private side, has slowed down. And therefore, the government will have to take a different kind of a role in order to make sure that the economy moves in the right direction. So this is why I think there will be certain compromises which will have to be made. And we will have to keep this 3% number for some more years and probably go in for a higher fiscal deficit, maybe in the region of around 3.84% for the next couple of years until the economy is back on its feet.
What do you make of the recent move of RBI, OMO, and what it can do to the rates?
See, if you see what the RBI has done is essentially it's made sure that the liquidity remains constant. Now, what they have done is that they have wanted to lower the long-term yields because we have seen that on account of the perception that the fiscal deficit is going out of order. That's the reason why the 10-year yields seem to be on the higher side. Whereas if you looked at the yields on the lower-rated maturity securities, they were more or less what the market had dictated. So what the RBI has essentially done is that they have followed a policy of maintaining neutral liquidity at the same time invoking steps like buying more of these 10-year papers so that you're able to lower the yields at the longer end and therefore narrow down the difference between the long-term and the short-term securities.
Right. And what do you make of the overall yields? You think yields from here on will continue to come down?
I think they should be coming down, but not significantly, because I think, see, right now we're looking at a 10-year security at around 6.6%. I think 6.5, 6.6 is what we can see until the time of the budget for certain. Now, it all depends upon whether the Reserve Bank of India gets a bit more aggressive and goes in for similar such transactions, because 10,000 crores per se is not really a large amount to really drive the yield significantly. But the fact that the announcement effect has been very much positive could possibly provoke the RBI to go in for more such purchases and sales in order to lower these yields further. But otherwise, if you look at the way in which the market is pricing government securities, especially at the longer end, I think it's pricing it fairly in a fair manner, because as long as there is this threat of the fiscal deficit slipping, more borrowings coming into the market, there would be a tendency for these yields to remain on the higher side. So the RBI is doing something consciously in order to assuage sentiment and bring the yields down.
All right, Madan, thank you so much for joining us and sharing with us your perspective on this.